What's happening, everybody? Suburban Hiker kicking rocks on day 47 of my 500-mile walk. My walk shows 0 distance, 0 duration. Let's start this workout. Today is Monday, July 15, 2019. It's at approximately 7:30 in the evening. Temperature is right around 88 degrees. Humidity is up to around 64%. It's been about 3 weeks since I've made a video, and man, is this gonna be a doozy. There has been so much that has happened in the last 3 weeks. Car problems, air conditioning, heating problems, havoc issues, whatever you want to call it. I went back to work. Just all kinds of crazy stuff. Let the record show this is mile number 155 out of 500. That's right, 155. I've gone on a few walks since the last video, and I added up all the fractions, subtracted with Map My Walk, and we are up to 155. I wanted to be a lot higher by now. Actually, I thought I would be done with this little project by now, but I'm not, and we'll see what happens. I may not even finish it. I'll explain all that as we go. As always, before we get too far along in the video, I would like to ask you to do me a favor. Please subscribe to my channel. Like the videos, ring the bell for notifications, all that good stuff. I'm not sure exactly where to begin with my little story time this evening, catching you guys all up to date. I suppose I'll mention, look at how green everything is, and how fantastic all this backing scenery. I'm being careful. I'm walking down a decline here. I don't want to slip and bust my nugget. It doesn't do much, but I still don't want to crack it open today. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. As much trouble as I've had trying to make a video. Here it is. It's been 3 weeks, maybe even just slightly more since the last video, and I've been trying to get out and make them, but something always comes up. And even today, just as I hit record, somebody's car alarm went off, and it was too close to be, I could hear it, so I wasn't able to start recording. Man, this is a pretty night. Here, let's look at this. A little stream. There's my shadow. I'm waving to you. I'm sure you can see that. I'm already winded and tired. And that is because I have gone back to work. That's about 3/4 of the story right there. I went back to work a week ago, and it's a pretty. I'm very happy about it. I'll talk about that again. That's well into the story before the work part comes up. So we'll backtrack. First, let's start. Where was I? I don't know. Let me think about this for a second. Okay. So, here's where it starts. 3-ish weeks ago, 3.5, right around the time of the last video, my girlfriend's car was having trouble, radiator trouble to be precise, or something with a coolant system. I'm not entirely sure it was the radiator. Could have been other parts of the cooling system. Either way, antifreeze on the garage floor. So as I am figuring out and diagnosing the issues with her car, I'm not a mechanic. I can figure some stuff out and I can do a lot thanks to YouTube, but I despise mechanic work. It makes my knuckles hurt every time. So I always gladly pay someone else to do my mechanic work for me. But I figured I'd get that started by myself and see if it's something I could fix first. And as I am diagnosing and fiddling with her car, I get a phone call out of the blue about a job. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
And I was actually waiting to go back to work. I had 2 strong leads, 2 different companies that I was interested in working with. And this phone call was a 3rd option that I had not expected. It was from a company I worked for quite a while, and I left there 2 years ago. Not under the best of circumstances. There were words said, lots of them, mostly by me. But either way, they called and I gave it consideration, and I went back. And I took my old position back. So that was fantastic. The cool part about the job is that I had about 10 days to get ready. And my plan was to walk 10 miles a day in preparation to go back to work. So in that 10-day period, like I mentioned, I was going to walk 10 miles a day or more. And as I was driving back from talking to the company about my returning, my car started acting up. And I started having car trouble with my car. And that was the first thing to interfere with my walking 10 miles a day in preparation to return to work. When I got home and kind of figured out what was wrong with my car and got it kind of taken care of, that evening my girlfriend noticed that our central air system was not cooling properly. So upon further inspection, I agreed it was not cooling properly, and I called a friend of mine, a former band member who owns a heating and air company called 5 Diamonds, Diamonds with an S. They're in Neppanee, a guy by the name of Brent Zebel. And he made room in his schedule to come out the next morning to assist with our cooling issues. And he showed up the next morning, worked on things for a couple hours, figured it out, fixed that. Nice little fix. And everything was working great like it should be. And then a couple hours later, it stopped working like it should be. The issue that we fixed was a symptom of another issue. And that other issue was not fixable. And we need a new air conditioner. The timing of this air conditioner coincided with a heat wave where we had about 4 or 5 days in a row of 90-degree temperatures and no air in the house. That's how my life works. But I'm fine with that. I like the heat, so whatever. But all this started to transpire over the course of a couple days. The repair and such. And that's cutting into my daily walks that I didn't get to do. Anyhow, we're gonna get a new air. We're gonna go ahead and replace the heat as well. Our units are approximately 30 years old. They well outlived their life expectancy. So we decided to get new and utilize the financing available. We had several options of financing. We could go through our bank, or we could go through the system that Five Diamonds works with. We discussed it and we decided that perhaps the Five Diamonds option was the best. And we had good reason to go that route. Of course, you notice I just mentioned that in past tense. While we had good reason to go that route and they did approve financing, it wasn't enough to cover the entirety of the cost of what we wanted to do with the replacement of the heat and the air simultaneously. Wonderful. And so we went another route into our bank. Our bank, fortunately, we've worked with them for a while, and they readily offered quadruple what we were asking for. However, with that, there's a time period that we have to accomplish certain steps and requirements and such, which puts us at about 2 more weeks without air conditioning. We're in the middle of a heat wave and a drought. It's only rained once. It's like the polar opposite of spring, where it rained every day for 5 months. Now I think it's only rained one time in the last 3 weeks. Again, I don't really mind the heat. It makes it a little difficult to sleep. We have a loaner window air to help keep the house cool, and that works fantastic. We really appreciate that. But all this involvement with getting the air situated at the house and all the financing through the bank, going back to work, the 4th of July, time with the granddaughter and her friends, my girlfriend and I have not been able to get out consistently and hike or make any videos. So that 10 miles a day idea that I had to prepare for my return to work did not come to fruition until I went back to work. I started back to work last week, and of course, when you go back to in the RV industry, if there's a job opening, you're probably behind in the department you're hiring into. Someone probably quit, and so your department falls behind, and there's a catch up, and that's kind of what happened. They called me, I went back, the department is behind, so I got to do some catch up work and keep up work at the same time. And that's always been an issue, is I can catch up and I can keep up, but I can't do both of those at the same time. I can't catch up and keep up. That's extremely difficult to do. So I went back to work, and according to my Fitbit, I have been averaging over 10 miles a day at work and 30 flights of stairs, although it's not regular stairs because I do ladder work, so I'm actually climbing ladders up and down, whatever. I enjoy the work, and it's helping me to be healthier back at this lighter work that I'm doing, as opposed to the heavier work I was doing earlier this year. My back feels absolutely fantastic. I'm having no problems whatsoever with that. Feet and legs are doing very well, and I attribute that to all the hiking and walking I've been doing this year. Again, while I had wanted to be done with this project by now and on to another, it hasn't worked out that way. The amount of mileage I'm putting in at work should decline as I catch up, and I am catching up. As a matter of fact, I would be caught up already, except for my partner at work took ill after my first day back, so we were down a person. There's only two of us, so I was by myself for 3 days in a row. She did return to work, but then I took ill and had to take Friday off because I was sick. What a mess. We were both there today. I got a lot done, but according to my Fitbit, I still had over 12 miles of walking in before I even got here. I seriously thought about counting the miles I put in at work to catch up as part of my 500-mile walk. That would be nice, because I'm already beat up. I am so tired right now. And to make matters worse, I only slept for 3 hours last night. I think it had something to do with the full moon. I don't know. I was almost asleep a few times, and then I have an itch or I need to turn over, stuff of that nature. So I got less than 3 hours of sleep. But I still got up, got to work. I feel okay now. I'll go to bed here in a little bit. The tricky part will be figuring out when to make videos. I'll still be able to get walks in after work, but actually working on the editing and uploading process, that's a little trickier. I wake up at 3:30 in the morning for work. I leave right at around 5 o'clock, and then I get home about 3:15 in the afternoon. Of course, that'll change also. The beauty of this job is that largely I get to leave when the work is done, and I usually get done pretty quickly after just a few hours, but we'll see how that works out. I'm excited to be back. I never really wanted to leave in the first place while I was unhappy with certain facets of the company. I think it was more me than the company for the most part. The morning I quit, there were a lot of variables and really had any one of those variables changed, I probably wouldn't have quit. But I did. I don't really regret it. I mean, I suppose I kind of do. But it's nice to be back. That's what I'll say. It's cool to be back there. I already have a history with a lot of the management and other employees, so that makes it a little more enjoyable, if anything about work can be enjoyable. I'm not sure how many miles I'll be out here today. I suspect not too many more. I still need to get home, get showered, eat. I've barely eaten today. Actually, I had a can of tuna today, and I don't know, maybe 6 slices of cheese, and several pots of coffee. I don't usually eat much during the day, especially when I'm working, and even more so when it's hot. I just don't feel like eating. Now all of a sudden I'm starting to feel like eating. It's cooling off, but the humidity's still up. So I'll probably, maybe, I don't know, I might get 2, maybe 3 miles today. We'll see. It's fantastic being here. I've been here a few times, as I mentioned, doing stuff with the granddaughter. I brought her and some friends of hers here 4 or 5 days ago. Brought them here fishing, and that was a lot of fun for myself and for them. I was going to make a video, and they were wanting to also be in the video. However, I would have needed parental consent, and there just wasn't time to get that all arranged. Parental consent for all the kids to be in the video, and there just wasn't time to do that before the fishing. It was a very hot day for fishing. I think heat index was 100. And actually it's supposed to be about 100 for the rest of this week. Heat index around here in South Bend, Indiana, is just going to be through the roof. I like it. I enjoy it. Everything feels good. The sweating, I love the sweat. It allows me to cycle quickly, all the stuff through my system. That's why I was kind of surprised I got sick. As much as I was sweating at work, and I caught a cold in the middle of July. It did pass quickly, so I was happy about that. But it did catch me off guard. Initially, as a matter of fact, everything's been so hectic with the cars, the air conditioner, returning to work, that I didn't even realize I was sick until I was too sick to go to work. I had a lot of body aches, and I thought it was due to my return to work. Turns out it was from the fever. All my muscles were sore. Of course, I'm trying to stay hydrated for sure. I didn't bring water on this hike, but I will definitely replenish when I get home. I've already had well over 3 liters of liquid today. Water, orange juice, V8 juice, and that doesn't even count the coffee. I had 3 pots of coffee too. Anyhow, I think I'll take a pause from talking and focus on my walking. Well, it is now approximately 20 minutes after 8 in the evening. Sun is setting. I'm in the middle of some woods here, as you can see. It's very, very green and lush, dark. Some bugs flying around, buzzing me. I'm gonna make my way back to the car. I think I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. I got to rambling. I suppose I should summarize everything. Had car trouble with both my cars. Got a call back to a job I had prior. Started working. Had a fantastic 4th of July. Doing lots of stuff with the granddaughter. That's one thing I wanted to mention too. The granddaughter and I started exercising. Resistance training and such. Lightweight workouts. She's getting ready for summer camp. And she wants to be in good shape to be able to do all the fun stuff. So we started working out, exercising, weight training, such. I've been doing that three times a week. That's been fun. I was really excited about that. When she was a little girl, we used to work out all the time together. When she was 2-3 years old, she used to follow me down to the basement. We'd take our shirts off and work out. Of course, she'd have to have a snack. Everything's snacks with her. That's a nickname we give her. Snacks. But we've been having a good time together over her summer break, and I've allowed that to interfere with my hike. That's kind of leads into the last thing I wanted to talk about, whether or not I'm going to complete this project. I have a tough time putting myself first, and to go on a 500-mile walk like this seems kind of selfish a little bit, maybe, because it's so time consuming, and I don't want my desire to do what just kind of was a goofy idea to start with. I don't want that to interfere with doing stuff with my granddaughter, because truthfully I'd rather spend time with her than do anything. She's awesome to be around. And of course, time with my girlfriend as well. You know, and the three of us like to do stuff together. We have a lot of fun together. And I will always set hiking aside in order to do something they want to do if what they want to do is not hiking. We do a lot of walking together too. Of course, I don't make video of that. My better half has zero desire to be in videos, on videos, any of that. So I respect that and don't make videos when she's with me. Although I could. I don't want the camera to take away from our time together. I'm not gonna stop making videos. I thoroughly enjoy making videos, and the hiking aspect, I love the hiking too. I suspect I will continue on the 500-mile walk. Really, the 500-mile walk idea was just, I thought, a good reason to make a series of videos. And the 500-mile walk just kind of encapsulated it, gave it a beginning and an end point, I suppose. I'm not going to stop walking after I reach 500. I'm not going to stop hiking. I'm not going to stop making videos. I swear to God, I thought I was going to be done by now. But much like the content of this video, life conspires against some of my best laid plans. And I just roll with it. But there are other videos I want to make. That's something I did want to mention. The shortcut video, which I put up for day one. My day one shortcut video. The shortcut videos I want to make, I want them to be about 5-7 minutes long, of certain specific aspects of the walks and the parks and the things I see. There are a lot of neat features that are at these parks, and I wanted to piece together shortcut videos from parts of the walks that are about those features. It just turned out that first video, shortcut for day one, turned out more like a Cliff's Notes of my day one walk. But so keep an eye out for that. I want to do that more. There are just neat features about the parks. Here at St. Patrick's Park, you have the Eagle's Nest and the viewing lodge they have. We have over here a couple barns that are prominent features of the park, with a backstory. There's just neat stuff to talk about at all these parks. And a lot of times that stuff gets edited out, or I just ignore it to concentrate on the walk. And that's the kind of video stuff I want to make. Videos more about the parks and less about me. So I don't know, I'm still kind of balancing between what type of style of videos to make. You know, am I really vlogging about what's going on in my mind, or cool stuff I'm seeing? Combination of both. I don't know. You guys can leave me some comments, your ideas. Let me know what you think. Should I stop doing the actual 500-mile walk where I'm tracking and logging, and instead of doing that, just make videos about hiking and where I'm at and what I'm doing? Or some combination of both of that. And that's really kind of what the series has turned into, is a combination of both of that, of talking about the location and what I see and such. Anyways, whatever, we'll figure it out. Alright, well, here I am, very back very near my car. We did 2.5 miles, and of course I round that down. We call it 2 miles, and then I add up those fractions periodically. That puts us at mile 156 in my 500-mile walk. Yeah, mile 156 is done. Leaves us with 344 more miles to go, I think. If that's right, I don't know. I'm tired. sweating. Humidity is high. The sun is getting low. My stomach is empty. Before you go, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to keep making videos. I don't know how frequently I'll be able to get them up as I figure out how to incorporate work with my hike. Thanks for hanging out with me. And I guess we'll see you in the next video. Suburban Hiker, thanks so much.